But first, struggling to survive in this tough economy, the growing problem of homeless families. With times being so tough, people from all walks of life are having to turn to homeless shelters just to get by.
And as our Darlene Hill reports, that helping hand gets one woman closer to what she lost.
Felicia Coleman says she's worked hard all her life, never realizing she was a paycheck away from living here.
This is home away from home for me.
Coleman calls this North Chicago shelter home for now. Her husband died 7 years ago, but her world started to really fall apart 3 years later.
Car got repoed, house gone, so I ended up.
What was that day like when you were evicted? When the sheriffs came by and said you got to get out?
That was the worst day of my life. Besides, you know, my husband passing.
Felicia and her daughter sleep on these twin beds. Her 2 sons sleep in this area. Coleman tried to rebound. She moved into a hotel, another apartment, even with family and friends. But she says bad luck seemed to follow her everywhere.
And one thing got to another, and still trying to work. That's what I tried to keep going, you know, a job. And I tried to hold on as long as I could.
During the day at Pat's Crisis Center, there are just a dozen or so people. At night, when it's cold outside, nearly 160 people line up for beds. That includes 40 families. Because of the economy, that number is going up.
The way it used to be, when you mention homelessness, the first thing a person would think about would be an old man sitting on the corner with a long beard, an overcoat, and a bottle of alcohol in his hand. Today, the picture of homelessness, the average homeless person today is a 9-year-old female.
Coleman says this is her 3rd time here. She continues to try and make it for her children. But when she's down, she comes back to her room at the shelter. Because while it's not home, at least she and her loved ones are safe.
Everybody has problems. So it's now time that we face our problems.
In North Chicago, Darlene Hill, Fox Chicago News.
Great attitude for her.
Yeah.